Hello, in this video, I will be reviewing plotting points on a coordinate plane, which is this, and I will be going over some of the questions from the Khan Academy activities, because there were a few questions on that, and I will also be reviewing just how to do this activity where you're plotting points to make this image. Going back to the coordinate plane here, so first, points are always going to look like this. They always come with two numbers. They're called coordinates. So blank, comma, blank. The first number is always going to be your x coordinate. Because if you look at this coordinate plane, it's going to tell you how to move on the x axis. So how to move on this line, which basically means the first number will always tell you to either move right or to move left. To move right or to move left. Because since it's horizontal, it's going to tell you to move right or left on this x-axis. That's what it's called, the x-axis. The second number is going to be the y-coordinate. And that's going to tell you how to move on the on the y-axis, so this vertical one. So it's going to tell you how to move up or down, up or down. You've had some practice, so you already know this. Pretty simple. Maybe you just didn't know the classification, so the x versus the y. Additionally, this coordinate plane is made of four sections. One section, two, three, four. So we have to label it. It's important to know what section a point falls on. This is what we call the first quadrant, quadrant one. Second quadrant, quadrant two. Third quadrant. And then you guessed it, the fourth quadrant. For those of you that don't like Roman numerals, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll just plot 2 points, just coming up with them on the fly. Here we have, let's do two positive numbers because you have practice with that. 3, 7. 3, 7. All right, so if I start at the center, I'm going to go to the right 3 because it's positive 3. Positive means you go to the right in the positive direction. And then now my second number tells me to move up or down. But since it's positive, I know that it's telling me to move up because positive means up on the y-axis. So this is 3, 7. Let's say I have another one. -5, -9. So now start at the center again. Now my x coordinate, the first number is telling me to move 5 to the left. How do I know it's to the left? Because it's negative. And to the left is the negative direction. This is where my negative numbers are. Now I have to make a choice. Am I going to go up or down? Well, the y-coordinate tells me that I'm moving 9 units in the negative direction, so down. So -5 down to -9. And that's -5, -9. And it's pretty much, that sums everything up. Now, while the basics, again, everything I just went through, you probably already knew. These are the basics. In math, the basics are always pretty simple to understand, but it's the application that's hard. You have to learn to apply math in different ways, and that's why some of you guys struggle with some of these questions on Khan Academy, which is why I'm going over it to assist you in that. So here, first activity, points on a coordinate plane. Use the following coordinate plane to write the ordered pair for each point, A, B, C, and D. So you have to fill in the blanks. What point is A? So X. So because we always go right or left first. If this is the center, I'm going to the left. So that means I know A is going to be negative because I'm going to the left. Now, what number do I stop at? This is -1, -2, and the -3 is here. So what's halfway between -2 and -3? -2.5. So 2.5. -2.5. Each one of these tick marks is a half. 0, -0.5. -1, -1.5. -2, -2.5. -3. Now, for A, this is an awesome example because I didn't move up or down. I'm still here. So that means that the y coordinate is 0. I didn't move up or down. So I'll start here. I moved -2.5, so to -2.5, but I didn't go up or down, so that means y is 0. Next, go to B. I'm going to the right 3, so that's +3, and then I'm going up 3, another +3. Now I go to C. Start here, I'm going to the right 1, so that's +1. But in this one, I'm going down 4, so that's a -4. 1, comma, -4. And that's how you do these type of examples. For which point is the x-coordinate less than 3? So where is x less than 3? So I know that my points, I can write on this, so I'm going to write on this. It's always x, comma, y. But they're saying that x has to be less than 3. So when I move to 3, so let's say I had a point that was 3. Or was 3. Even worse. So that means I would start at 0 and then I would go to the right 3. But they don't say anything about y, so y can be any number. It can be a positive, it can be a negative, it can be 0. So that means any point on this line. So points where x is less than 3, well, this is just a number line. Let's say you didn't even see the up and down number line, the vertical number line. If x is less than 3, that means less than is to the left. Which points are to the left of this line that I drew? There's 2 points, D and C. Those are less than 3. So that means the two answers are C and D. A and B have x coordinates that are greater than 3. Don't believe me? Let's draw them out. So A would be 3.5. Start at the center, go 3.5 to the right, and then go up 1.5. Notice this number is bigger than 3, greater than 3. B, go to the right 4, and then go down -2. Notice 4, the x-coordinate is greater than 3. So A and B are not answers. C and D are the only two answers. You can even write those out if you really wanted to. Just different ways, different strategies. That's my job as a teacher, to teach you strategies. Let's say I told you, prove to me that C is less than X when the X coordinate is 3. So C is 1 unit to the right and then up 1 unit. So look at this, look at the X coordinate. Isn't 1 less than 3? Yes, it is. That means C is less than 3. And then D also. Which ordered pair is not graphed below? My best advice for these problems, because you'll see 2 or 3 of them, label the points that you do see on the graph, and then just select the one that you didn't write. So I'm starting with this one here on the left. So if I start at the center, I'm going to the left 4, so -4. And then I'm going up 4, so -4, comma, +4. Then I'm going to do this one at the bottom. So the center, notice I don't move right or left. I'm not moving to the right or to the left. That means I moved 0 units. But I do move down. I move down 4 units, so -4. And then last point, so I'm moving to the right 4 and then up 4. Those are both positive directions. So I'm going to go up here. Let's see which ones aren't listed. -4, comma 4, that's B. That one is on the graph. 4, comma 4 is my last one that I plotted. And then 0, -4 is right there. A is the one that's not on the graph. -4, 0. -4, 0 means if I start at the center, I'm moving to the left to -4. And since the second number is 0, that means I'm not moving up or down. So notice there wasn't a point there. I added it on there. Most students did well with this question. There's 3 points. You have to drag and drop them. So the first one, 5.5. So start at 0. Go to the right because it's a positive, 5.5. So 5.5 is halfway between 5 and 6. And then +4. So I'm going up 4. Next point. Start at the center. You're going 7 units to the left because it's negative, and then up 1 because it's a +1. Third point. The first number is 0. That means you're not going right or left. You're staying here. But you are going to go down 9. And then now the questions are just going to repeat with different numbers. So I'm going to stop for this activity. It says what are the coordinates of each point, and you can keep going from here. If you need to rewind and rewatch any part or any specific question, feel free to do so. Take notes, use the paper savers, whatever you need to do. Let's go to the second activity. This one is more wordy, so you actually need to understand what the words mean. So again, what makes math difficult is the English language, because you're translating. You have to translate the English to math. The ordered pair A, comma B gives the location of point P on the coordinate plane. So they're giving me a generic point A, comma B. The value of A is 0, so that means A is always going to be 0. But B is not 0. So that means we have two options. Think about this. If B can't be 0, that means B can be a positive number or it can be a negative number. But it can't be 0. So an example, let's say I wanted to do 0 and then +2. Make it easy. 0 and -2. Those are the options. You can pick any number, +5, -5. But the first one is always 0 because A is always 0. So the value of A is 0. So if I put these 2 points, 0, 2. So I'm not moving right or left because the first number is 0. But I'm going to go up 2. Right there. I'll draw it a little bit darker. Next point, 0, -2. So I'm not going to the right or left, but I am going down 2. Where could point P be located on the coordinate plane? So what do you notice about my 2 points? They're on the line with the Y. Again, that's called the Y-axis. It's not in a quadrant. They're not in quadrants because quadrants would be when you move to the right or left. So we're just going to say it's on the Y-axis. But it's always going to be on the Y-axis. This one. I love this one. Draw yourself a simple coordinate plane. I'm not even going to put tick marks. No numbers, nothing. First point. because it's asking you where does each point fall on, which quadrant or axis. So first point, -2.5. So if I start at the center, I'm going in the negative direction, so that means to the left. And then I'm going in the negative direction, so that means down. So that means the first point is going to be somewhere right here. What quadrant is that? This is 1, 2, and 3. So that's quadrant 3. 0, 6. Start at the center. Since the first number is 0, that means I'm not going right or left. But I'm going to go up 6. That's not a quadrant. That's just the y-axis. That's the line with the y. Next one, -5, 0. So start at the center. I'm going to the left, 5. But I'm not going up or down because my second number is 0. So this one is on the x-axis, the horizontal line. Drag the dot to plot 6, 0. So it's already at the center. So first number is 6. That means I'm going to the right 6. That's the positive direction. Second number is 0. So I'm not going up or down. I'm just going to stay here. So I'm on the x-axis again. I'm on the line with the x. Point E has a positive y coordinate. So again, points are always x, comma, y. They don't tell us anything about x, so that can be any number. But they tell us y is positive. Y is positive. So let's pick, I don't know, +2. I like 2 today. +2. I can pick any number for x. That means it could be a negative number, -2. Can I include 0? Yeah, doesn't say anything about that. Or it could be a positive. So if I plot these points, -2 plus 2. So I'm going to the left 2 and then I'm going up 2. 0, +2. So I don't move right or left, but I go up 2. Last one, +2, +2. So I'm going to the right 2 and then up 2. So what do you notice? Where could my points be? Because that's the question. Where could point E be located? It could be in quadrant 1. It can be on the y-axis, or it could be in quadrant 2. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, or it could be on the y-axis. And then from here, I believe the questions are just going to repeat. So I'm going to stop again. If you still have any questions or you're like having problems with some of these, answering them, after you've tried, come see me. So if you come up to me and this circle is white, that means you haven't tried it. I will say, go back and try it, then come back and see me. I don't give answers out. Stop coming up to me and asking me for, what's the answer? Try something. Once you're done with the Khan Academy, finish up this sun drawing. Finish up this sun drawing. I'm not even sure if you got to see that. Finish up the sun drawing, the one you got on Tuesday. If you need help plotting points with that, come see me. It's kind of hard for me to kind of show you. I was gonna go through it, but the graph paper is horizontal here. Actually, I could do it. Let me make this split screen. I think you guys can see split screen. Let me erase this because this is the same coordinate grid. So it says plot the ordered pair of numbers on the graph in the order they are listed, connecting them with line segments as you plot them. Start a new line after the word stop. So I had already done the first section for you, so I'm gonna go through that again. 1 comma 7. So that means to the right 1, up 7. 3 comma 13. 3 comma 13. 8 comma 11. So to the right 8 and then up 11. To the right 4 and then up 6.5, 6.5. So those are the 4 points in this section. I'm supposed to connect 1 comma 7 to 3 comma 13. 3 comma 13 to 811, and then 811 to 4 comma 6.5. And then it says stop. So I don't connect the last two. I just connect these two. I stop. Then I move on to the next section. Some of you guys went down, some of you guys went to the right. 7 comma 4. So to the right 7, up 4. 11 to the right, up 7. 13 to the right, up 2. 8 to the right, up 1. And then connect those. 7 comma 4 to 11 7 to 13 2 to 8 1. And then stop because it says stop. And then you keep going. Plot the rest of this. I understand there's some decimals in there. Try your best. You're ready for that challenge. Again, any questions, come see me. Come see me. Don't be lazy. Don't stay there and stare at it aimlessly, pretending something's gonna click in your brain without doing anything. You need to do something in order for something to click.